Yeah, brother, the whole picture is now fully painted and done. And now I'm going to just remove the tape off the table. You're going to see me do that right now. My nails are not very sharp, yet I'll still try. Stupid tape. I'd keep it close to the thing. Yeah. A lot of people say this sound is satisfying, but I just find it terrifying because most of the time when this paper tape tears, it takes a part of the paper with it, and that leads to a lot of havoc in my work. Like, I'd make a really good painting, and when I take off the paper tape, it will all be really messed up. And I don't like seeing my hard work getting messed up every single time. So I guess that's that. Okay, we're going to take the top part of the tape out now. Oh shit. Yes, yeah, that's better. It's really hard to like take the microphone with the thing. Oh god. Oh god, nothing happened. Yeah, cool. This time there were no side effects of me doing this. Woohoo, let's go. It goes without saying that you shouldn't copy my sign, but well, here's my sign. Monesh 2024, isn't it? Or is this year 2025? Ah, yeah, it's 2024. Never mind. Monesh 2024. Yep, that is it. Should I also put the date as a timestamp or so? 07 7th February. Yup, that is it. I thought I'd finish this video by drawing the curtains after I finished painting that image, but I thought I'd suffer a little bit more so that your next watercolor painting will turn out better. Here are a few tips, specifically 5, such that your watercolor paintings can become really cool. First tip is essentially this. Don't go maniac mode over your mistakes. Like, this is what you'll end up with. I thought the shadows were not dark enough and I went over them with alcohol markers, and this is how they turned out. So you're like, what should I do next, brother? Well, my answer to that, brother, is the following. If it's not very, very damaging to the composition, you might as well leave it alone. And if it is kind of damaging to the composition, then what I suggest you to do is get some water on that place where that mistake happened, and then dab over it slowly but surely and get that paint off and wait for 10 minutes and then paint again. Otherwise, if you made a mistake with line art, then what you can do is use opaque white paint. But when you're using opaque white paint, make sure you're using opaque white paint at the last, because if you put opaque white paint like gouache first and then you put watercolor on top of it, it won't stick to the paper, and that place will stick out like a sore thumb. So make sure to use it sparingly and at the last alone. Those were my first tip. My second tip is as follows. This is especially important for those who are using Indian ink, but not for the other people actually. So here's the equipment you're going to be needing for using Indian ink. An Indian ink bottle, obviously. There are cheap ones like in 70 rupees if you're Indian, or just $1, and they're called drawing inks. Get them, and get yourself a Sable #3. That is the equipment you'll be needing. And the next important thing about Indian ink is it doesn't dry as fast as you think it does. Like if you put your teeny weeny thumb on something and you're like, ooh, it probably is going to not lift off. But if you put water on the same place and you're like, grrr, it's probably going to lift off. And believe me or not, this was supposed to be a watercolor illustration. Do you see any watercolor anywhere? I don't, because I tried to put water on the Indian ink and it started lifting off, and I had to do something and I was running out of time, and I did this. I finished the painting with the Indian ink. That was tip number 2. Tip number 3 is adding accents to shadows. You see, in our reality, light doesn't really work the way you think it does. Like if there's an obstacle in front of it, it just can't pass through and it forms a geometric shadow. In reality, shadows are never geometric. Remember that. Like for example, as you go further and further away from the object being hit or the light source in question, the shadows appear more and more diffused. Like look at this for example. In this painting, this campfire is close to, no, this hearth is close to this bookshelf, and the shadows here are sharp and crispy. But on his body, the shadows aren't crisp at all. You have to think about that when you're painting shadows. Okay, those were 2. No, actually 3 tips. Tip 4 is learning to leave spaces for lights. You see, when we're working with watercolor, it's always light to dark, and you have to leave the space for light and then cover up the other areas in dark and then come back to the light and then make it in diluted colors. And number 2, in watercolors, diluting the area around the light source, diluting the colors around the area with the light source really helps sell the effect of it being lit. That was tip number 4. And if you want the explanation for why the dark areas are really dark and are kind of filled with ambient lights, is this. See, I told you, right? Light doesn't go geometric, it diffuses. So what happens is the bounced light that bounces off of walls and stuff, they enter places where they're not supposed to be. And that's how shadows get their color. And that bounced light has color, if you really think about it. And the next is a final technique that I seem to use that most people don't. Have a bowl for warm colors and cold colors and for brown colors. You see, I see most people using 2 bowls. One for the muddy water and one for the clean water, in which they'll tap their foot. In the latter, they'll tap their brush first, and then they'll take it out, wipe it on a tissue paper like this, and then they'll go back and they'll tap it on the clean water and then wipe and then go in for the painting. This is a good practice. I wouldn't say it's not, but most of the time while you find yourself painting, you'll be in this trance state where you forget to do a lot of shit. And when you're forgetting to do a lot of shit, you shouldn't be forgetting to actually not make your colors muddy. So if you tap in the one for the warm color and then take it out and clean it and then go with the warm color, it's not going to be a problem. And if you're using colder colors, the same thing. And if you're using a mixture of the 2, it's also the same thing. And yeah, those were mainly my tips. Yeah man, we've reached the end of this video, and this is the place where we part ways, usually. This is like the 5th take, so I'm not really full of energy. Forgive me for that. But if you think you found value in this channel or in this video alone, hit the subscribe button, because you'll find more videos filled with value just like this one. They're mostly going to be documentations of my works, but I think that could also prove to be entertaining? Okay, to top it all off, thank you for watching. My name is Monish. This channel's name is Monstar. And if you want to be part of the community, hit the subscribe button and welcome to the gang. Here's a bro fist for your amazing attention span too. Bye.